Welcome back. In this video, I'll talk in more detail about the object display, navigating the scene, and the toolbar for new users. We're starting this video in the central browser. I'll choose my WolfPass project and then flip over to the Scene View tab. The Scene View is where you can explore your model, make annotations, and add attachments. The object display list on the left shows all of the objects included in the revision, together with controls to determine how these objects are displayed. You can collapse and expand objects and models in the list to see the objects used to build them. The way objects are organized helps in demonstrating how something was put together. For example, if I expand the lithology, it is made up of a boundary that can also be expanded to show that it was made using a distance buffer and a topography. Below, there is a fault system that has no contents, the surface chronology, and the output volumes. I can then also expand the surface chronology and output volumes to better familiarize myself with these. The eyeball show or hide icons are used to determine what objects are visible in the scene. There are different controls available for the various types of objects, but these are hidden until the object is displayed in the scene. As an example, I'll turn on the visibility of the daysite dikes and the early diorite. When I do that, the additional controls become visible. I can decide to adjust the transparency, show faces, smooth faces, show edges, and/or show the legend. I can also drag and drop an object or model or file folder from the objects display list into the scene. If I drag the output volumes folder into the scene, all of the volumes in the model are displayed. Now, with a model in the scene, I can rotate the model by clicking the left mouse button and dragging. I can zoom in and out using the scroll wheel or by clicking and holding the right mouse button while dragging. Then I can pan around the scene by clicking and holding both mouse buttons while moving the mouse. If I want to center an object in the scene, I can put my mouse over it and click the scroll wheel. This will also change this to be the new center of rotation. If I want to return to the original view, I can select Reset from the Look drop-down menu. If I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at in the scene or which object is which, I can click on an object and it will highlight that particular object in the object display list, and object information will be shown in the lower left corner. For example, as I click around my geological model volumes, the blue pointer cone will show what I've clicked on in scene, and the orange bar in the object display list will identify the selected object. The toolbar at the top has a limited number of buttons with lots of functionality. From left to right, the first button is the Clear Scene button. I won't press it right now, but it does just that, and you can start over choosing which objects you wish to display. The next object, the Look button, has a drop-down with options to view the project from any of the compass directions, or from up or down. You can also choose to view the project in orthographic or perspective mode. If there is a slicer or a moving plane in the scene, then there are extra viewing options available here. The next button is the slicer. Clicking on the slicer will make the last drawn slicer plane visible in scene. There are additional viewing options in the drop-down beside the knife to view a specific type of slicer and/or a particular direction of slicer cut. Next in the toolbar, the little gray plane with yellow handles is the moving plane tool. Like the slicer, if you click on the moving plane, the last drawn plane will be shown in scene. If you click on the plane in scene, the handles will appear. We can change the size, position, orientation, and the green line with the arrow is the trend direction. If you want to start over, the drop-down beside the moving plane has the option to reset the plane. Simply click on the tool again and remove the plane from the scene view. The next button to the right is the cursor button. Click here to get your selection functionality back. The knife with the green line is the Draw Slicer tool. Click and drag to draw a slicer plane. Then rotate to have a look at the cut through your objects. The next tool over is the Draw Moving Plane tool. I'll click to hide the slicer plane, then click on the Draw Moving Plane tool. Click and draw to draw the plane line, and then rotate to see the faces of the plane. Again, the controls to adjust the plane tools can be shown or hidden by clicking on the plane. The next tool over is the ruler. Click and drag to actively measure, or click, drag, and release to measure and have the distance displayed statically in scene. The last tool is the Compare Model Revisions button. Watch our Comparing Model Revisions in the Central Browser video for more details about the functionality of this tool. That concludes this beginner's guide to the Central Scene View video. Thanks for joining us.